you enter the world of desserts, where Mr. Dark is hidden, guarded by clowns carrying out amazing stunts. Be careful, Mr. Dark is diabolical. Hello everyone, and welcome to the finale of Let's Play Rayman. It's been an arduous road, and we've finally collected all of the cages, freed all of the electrons, and now we have access to Mr. Dark's dare. And we get greeted with delicious cake. So much strawberries. Now, Mr. Dark's dare is set up as a series of 3 challenges. And the first challenge is actually a very unique part of the level, which I very much enjoy. Even though, when you first play this, you're probably not ready for it. There's a lot of problems with this level that people kind of find, but once you get through it, it's actually not that bad. Oh god. And the welcome, then the level says, hello. Oh, come on. No! Yeah, yeah. In my opinion. It's very easy to get stuck, the momentum is kind of off, and even though Mr. Dark is there for the second section, we're not dealing with him yet. The second section has to do with, battling an evil version of yourself that Mr. Dark clones. It's not a necessarily hard challenge, kind of like the previous one. Apparently he's termed Bad Rayman, but really he's pretty much a dark version of yourself, an evil version, if you will. He's not really hard because he just mimics exactly what you do. It's just pretty much on like a 2-second delay. And he follows exactly what you do. If you hang on a ledge, he will hang on a ledge. If you fall down, he will fall down. If he glides, you glide. If he crawls, you crawl. It's not... So, really, the challenge you would get in other games where they put this in, it's actually not in this game, which is actually a very nice godsend in terms of difficulty. So, just probably the main problem you're going to have with this stage is all of the slippery platforms that you have to deal with, especially the tiny ones at the very beginning. If you're not ready for them, or finding the trigger points, it can be rather difficult. Oh yeah, and if you touch him, you instantly die. There's a lot of instant death in this level. As we head on to the third section, where Mr. Dark apparently zapped us. Now, we see sparkles over Rayman's head. What does it do? Well, I can't actually show it off because I can't show off my controller, but what actually happened is that he reversed our left and right controls, so when you push left, Rayman will go right. And there's actually a couple of new enemies right in this level, especially Clown here, who just throws bombs everywhere. He's actually called the Bomber. The second one is... Oh, shoot. I thought I was going to get through this level unscathed. I've been able to do it, but just not this section. For some reason or another. It's just the clowns. Clowns get you. It also makes fighting the Water Boy here a lot easier. He throws water balloons at you. That's why he's called the Water Boy. And of course, anti-tunes make their final return. We continue up, and now we have to deal with what's actually termed a clown. He stomps the ground and makes you stunned. However, the stun kind of has no negative consequences. He just stuns you, and Rayman makes a face. Pretty much like that. It's like, why did you do that, jerk? It takes a while to take down, especially when you don't have any sort of power-ups. You could have gotten a Gold Fist power-up from last section, but I already had one from doing the roundup. Now it's time for when reverse controls... Remember that my controls are still reversed. That has not changed. but this part can be a little bit of an annoyance if you're not ready for reverse controls. And that's just short platforming on clouds such as this. You can actually skip this if you are running for your life, but I wouldn't recommend it. But we get to a checkpoint, and now we have to deal with slipperiness. Actually, I want to go over here, because there's a power sphere if you go all the way to the sledge. I found this by accident. I don't think you're supposed to find it on purpose, compared to a lot of them. Oh well, I have 14 lives. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to... I'm sure I'm not going to be using all of them. And hey, power sphere. Power spheres are always good. I believe all of those enemies back there were the last new ones. Because now we just have to deal with the bomber, who is incredibly annoying. And also what's really annoying is if you're running ridiculously fast, this is the point where the reverse controls wear off, or get taken away, or whatever. So that can actually screw you up more than the reverse controls itself. But we get to a checkpoint, and if I'm able to... There's Mr. Dark, and we get our next piece of magic thrown at us. I am not pressing any buttons in terms of running or direction. In this section, Rayman will simply move to the right at all times. And run. So, pretty much you just have to be prepared with jumping a lot. The section isn't that long. However, you saw that he shot more magic at us. He took away our last curse, but pressing the square button, he took away our fist. We can't punch. Which means that we pretty much can't do anything except for jumping and running. However, I want to go back here. If you notice right at the bottom of the screen, there's a life. That's exactly what I want. 15. If you're not ready for what's coming up next, 15 may be not enough lives for what you're going to be doing, because what's up next can be very, very difficult. And that's actually facing off against Mr. Dark, who is holding our fist hostage. And we can't get to it because he is an annoying jerk. Then he just gets rid of it and starts showing more magic at us. Now it may look like he only has one hand, but he's using the other hand in order to hide himself among his cowl and his cloak. Because he's spooky and he's Mr. Dark. But now we have to deal with his fire spires and also his magic. The funny thing about these spires, if you bounce into them, if you get hit by the magic and bounce into them, you actually take you actually take 2 hits, which is not good. Which means that the fire spires have no invisibility frames. And now we're doomed, Rayman. Doomed as the flames go up, but the Electoons have come to help. They're gonna free us. I really think you may be able to hit Mr. Dark there, but I'm not so sure. As we fight an amalgamation of all of the other enemies that we've fought before. So here is Scopstone, an amalgamation of Mr. Scops and Mr. Stone. His pattern is piss easy for some reason. It's just jump over his really fast claw and hit him in the eye. And do this for 8 times. However, we're not done, because now we have to deal with Mosquito Mama. I'm gonna name her, because I don't know what she is. And she's an annoying little... she's just annoying. Because there's 2 of her. Did I mention there's 2? And that we have to go through all of the bosses if you die. This is the worst case scenario, is if you have only 3 hits in order to get through the bosses of this stage. And you can see on the bottom right, we have Mr. Dark as ours, but we're not actually fighting him directly. And I have a problem with this, which I'll address later as I get through this. I'm going to be showing off all my failures at this point. But yeah, I don't like this part at all, because really, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and it's actually easy to cheese this boss fight if you know exactly what you're doing. There we go. Now I can cheese it. No, I can't. Oh, shoot. Yeah, usually I can cheese this fight. I'm not getting good enough in order to cheese it. So, both of the mosquito mamas can actually attack each other if you can actually time it correctly. There we go. And this is how you cheese the fight. You can also throw in your own punches if you really must, but I recommend exactly what I'm doing here, because it's kind of the best way in order to do it. And, oh, no way. Oh, that's no fair. Come on, I almost had her, and then I didn't have to deal with her, but I only had one hit left, so I was probably going to die on the next section because we're not done with this fight. Yeah, this is just a test of will at this point. You've gotten this far in the game, you better be out for the long haul. Especially with... Oh, come off it. Really? Yeah, screw that. You can't get that low, and I can't cheese it. Because I really want to cheese it. And I can't get hit at this point. I don't have 5 hits in order to deal with. I only have 3. And I need the 3, especially for dealing with the mosquito mamas. I'm gonna name them because I don't really know the official name for them. But yeah. I think after this point, if I'm not able to do it correctly, like this. Off it. Just keep one of them firing and make sure they don't end up on the same level. Ever. That's my strategy. Because if they're on the same level, you're pretty much boned for the cheesing strategy. And now we're tiny and we have to deal with the mosquito monster. This is a fairly easy one, but make sure you don't screw up. Because this is an amalgamation of Mr. Sax's feet and hands, Mosquito's head, and Space Mama's body. Really, the pattern's also pretty easy too. You just have to make sure that you don't get hit ever. And with that, we've done it! But where's Mr. Dark? Wasn't there supposed to be a fight with Mr. Dark somewhere?
You've done it! You've saved the world!
Apparently not, because we dealt with him. This is the part of the game I don't like, because after this we get the credits. It's just, huzzah, you saved the world. But we didn't face off against Mr. Dark. Apparently the Pro-Tune, the whole thing we were trying to get back in order to just restore balance is all fine. What happened? Did Mr. Dark get away? Did we free Batilla? What happened? Well, there's a lot of things I can go with. There's a lot of things I could talk about, but there's actually too many things to talk about in this video, and it'll mostly just pad it out too much, so I won't explain it here. But hey, we get a lot of pictures of the bosses we defeated in hilarious or carefree circumstances, and there's an Electoon skiing. Just cause. Yay! Woo! But yes, in terms of the game, as we see Rayman, Joe, and Terezan, we don't see the musician anywhere. I kind of wish he was called a musician right now. But hey, Rayman says, see you soon. When did he have goggles? and we get plunked right onto the start screen. However, I'm gonna meet you back in my previous game as I load it up, because there's something else when you have a 100% save file. When you have a 100% save file, you get plunked right on Mr. Dark's dare. Now this is actually after you've beaten the level, so what happens when we go back in? We get this picture! Enjoy it because it's only here for a couple more seconds. And after you see that picture, you see the credits again, but we don't need to see those again. So that is it for Let's Play Rayman. I want to thank again nalums for bringing this game to my attention, and I'm kind of glad I accepted it because otherwise I probably would have never played the game. In terms of how my personal feelings about the game and things I'm not going to cover because it takes too long, here's a demo for you. But hey, it's pictures. I'm going to put that later in the video description in order to fully put my thoughts about this game because, well, the previous games I played for a couple of years and I had a nostalgic feel. This is the first game I played where I didn't, so I have a more colorful and knowledgeable... Is that a word? I don't know. So that is it for Let's Play Rayman. I want to thank again nalums for bringing this game to my attention and actually requesting for me to play it, because really that is absolutely fantastic. I do take requests, so any requests you have, message me and I'll see whether it's good or not. I don't accept all requests, but I do bring them to my attention. But that is going to be it for Let's Play Rayman, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. I didn't know he made that sound. Interesting. But yeah, I'll see you next time with another game. Take care, everyone.